what do you make of Prime's week, Deion's week? We had Jordan Seaton here. He was a terrific kid and large and exactly the type of left tackle that you'd want to have and build around. And then Deion filled out the rest of the line through
keep going.
the portal, so
that's exactly what he needs. Now, like the pressure's going to be on Phil Lodeholt, who is a former towering offensive lineman at Oklahoma, is a young offensive line coach who is now the offensive line guy, to bring those guys together, right? Now, I still think, they have 6. They need it, and they've lost a couple of guys on the other end of the portal, like the starting center is going someplace else, and they need to hit that really hard, and they need to develop it because they were so bad up front. They were so bad in the trenches. I don't think it's unrealistic for them where, I think it's, you go from 1 win to 4 wins, and that's positive. I think they could go to 9 wins next year, but again, it's hard. Miami had basically the Jordan Seaton of last year. Francis Maui Noah is a giant of a man, freak athlete, was on our top 10 in our freaks list, had a really strong freshman year. But it's a different position. It's hard for offensive tackles or offensive linemen to come in and be impact guys, but he can certainly be much better than what they had last year. And I think that's a building block. And I think these other guys who have played especially the guys who started in the Power 5, even if they're not elite linemen, if they're better than probably what they had. Now the question is, can you bring everybody together? Because I think Shedeur is really, really good, and I think they do have good skill guys around them. It's just they were a long way away from being a top 25 team. They were in the beginning of the year,
right?
But it was you beat a Nebraska team that's not very good. You beat Colorado State, who was obviously not very good. They had a couple other games they should have won. Stanford, there's a few others where they probably could have got bowl eligible. But from talking to a lot of coaches, it's this is what they need to do, but they need to keep going. It's not just, hey, we got 5 guys who played somewhere, it'll be better. I mean, they were so bad up front. That's the challenge, is to get from, it's hard to go from bad in the offensive line. It's hard to go from awful in the offensive line to great. You have to go to at some point you have to get to mediocre, and at least then you go to decent. And can they get to there?
But they filled a need in the last 5 days.
Yeah,
right?
I think it's, but I don't think it's just okay, now we got 5 or 6 guys. Now we're going to go from 4 wins to 10 wins. I think now the heavy lifting really happens.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.